First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Appreciate you joining in here for our show. We are live on YouTube and Facebook, and of course on our apps and website. And we had a little bit of a tech issue earlier, so if you were watching that, that's why I'm back here again. You're going to hear just a little bit of the same stuff, but that's because I am talking about the Apple event that started, that was actually this morning. So if you are an iPhone fan, this is a big, big day. This is the announcement of the iPhone 15. And there's 4 different versions of that, so the latest in the lineup for Apple. Certainly something that a lot of people are excited to see, because you always want to know, what is Apple going to bring to the table when it comes to this? And they're pretty good about keeping their secrets. They're actually one of the best companies at doing that, so a lot of times even the experts don't really know until this event happens. But now we do know a lot more about it. So I want to go through some of the features that are going to be out there for the iPhone 15. We're going to talk about the watches that came out as well. So you can feel free to drop in your comments. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, let us know what you think about some of these things. But I think one of the big deals for those who are iPhone users, the biggest deal maybe, is the fact that they are switching from the Lightning charger. So if you're used to having an iPhone, you're not going to have that cable anymore. They're switching to USB-C, something much more universal across the tech industry. If you're an Android user like I am, this is old news. A lot of other tech products use USB-C. Apple had refused to go over that for a number of years until now. So if you get an iPhone 15, you will be getting a USB-C charging port on that phone. So that's definitely gonna change things up for people. It's not that big a deal. You can pick up a USB-C charger pretty much anywhere, but to be aware of that, that is one of the changes that are going to happen there. And so we're going to talk about that too. There are some updates that they made to that will make sense when we get further into the phones. But let's talk about the iPhone 15 here first. So there you go. There's your color lineup. I know that is always a big deal for the iPhone fans. This is the latest one right there. So you've got, well, there's 4 different phones really that are going to be coming out with this. There's 4 different versions of the new iPhone 15. Right there, we're talking about the iPhone 15, just the standard, and the iPhone 15 Plus. So taking a look at those, some of the things there, some of the big key updates there, in addition to the USB-C port, is it's going to have a 48 megapixel main camera with 2 times telephoto lens. So that's a pretty big deal right there. Definitely a big upgrade on the camera. That means you're going to be able to take, of course, higher resolution photos, videos, all of that stuff. And let's see, some other big updates to this one. It's going to be using, well, not an update actually. It's going to be using the A16 Bionic chip, which is the same chip as the 14. So not an upgrade there, although that was pretty standard for the rest of them. So, again, taking a look here for the iPhone 15, this is something that. It's definitely got some upgrades to it. I wouldn't say it's a huge upgrade over the iPhone 14, but definitely some additions in there. The price-wise, so these ones are going to start at $799 for the iPhone 15, $899 for the iPhone 15 Plus, and those are each with the 128 gig storage on there. So you can go up from there and add more storage, as always on these phones, but they're keeping that price below $1,000, which is starting to be a little bit of an industry standard for the flagship phones. So that's good to see that that's happening there for those who want a little bit of a better price. All right, from there though. So that's the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Plus. Let's go on to the big ones though. So these are where there are a lot more upgrades. So the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Sometimes it's a lot to remember on the different naming structures here, but these are the top end ones that they've got. So a couple of big deals on here. Price wise, the iPhone 15 Pro starts at $999, the iPhone 15 Pro Max at $1199, and the $1199 one has 256 gigs of storage. Really, these are going up to another level using your phone just beyond ordinary use. So if you're going to be probably getting this, you're probably using it for some kind of filming. You really want to have those upgraded capabilities. If you're just an ordinary phone user, you may not need this, but there are some really great additional features that are going on with this. One of them is going to be the action button, which is on the side. So you can kind of see it right there. That's going to be something you can program for different capabilities. If you have something that you usually use, one of the shortcuts you want, you're going to have the action button now there on the side. Going back though to talking about the USB-C port and how they're going to be utilizing that. This is pretty interesting. So they are claiming that the iPhone 15 Pro is going to be able to transfer at 10 gigabytes per second. That's really fast. So that is a huge advantage. If you're somebody out there shooting a lot of, say, 4K video, huge files, you want to get them off of there, that's going to be a big advantage there if you're using this iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max. So that's pretty impressive. And speaking of the video capabilities on these, one of the highest end one is that you can shoot 4K 60 ProRes video, and you can also capture spatial video. So spatial video is something that they're incorporating into some of their other products. You may have seen the headset that they have, and the idea is you're capturing two different images. It almost gives like a 3D feel to it. So I think really what this is aiming towards is for the headset when it does come out next year, but still kind of a cool feature if you want to play around with that. Really, if somebody is a filmmaker, you know, they're kind of pushing it to where you can film your movie on an iPhone, which we've certainly seen happen before, but those capabilities just keep getting better and better. So if you are in that market, the iPhone 15 Pro is got some pretty impressive stuff, and you can go out there and take a look at some of the video that they have. So there's your iPhones. Let's go on to iOS 17. So this is something that's going to be updating for pretty much everybody with a modern era iPhone. Some new capabilities on there that are going to be happening. Name drop is going to be a way you can tap your phone to somebody else's. You can transfer contacts that way if you want to share contacts. You can also AirDrop a lot easier that way. So, you know, some advantages in that aspect. You can customize your screen a little bit better. You can customize your contacts. You can customize what other people see when you contact them. So you can send in your own picture and work that out if that's something that you're really interested in. So certainly some nominal upgrades there for iOS 17. There's a lot more that'll be coming out with that too, but you can take a look at all the features there. All right, next thing I want to talk about is the watch. So there's a couple different watches that came out. You have their regular new Apple Watch, and then you have the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So this is like the highest end Apple Watch that they have. And this thing does a lot. But one of the features right there, actually I'm gonna go back there, you can see that person with their fingers together. So this is called double tap, and this is gonna be a way to use your Apple Watch Ultra 2 without having to touch the screen or do anything else. You'll be able to tap your fingers together and then go through different features. So if you've ever been, you know, you have something in your other hand, you don't have time to, or can't figure out how to get over there to actually tap the screen, you're not gonna need to do that. You're gonna be able to do it just with the tapping your pointer finger and your thumb together. And you can double tap, and there's a bunch of different ways that you can use that they showcased. So kind of a cool additional feature that they're gonna have on there. And probably something that a lot of people were asking for at some point. All right, so we've got that. Let's go, though, talk about some of the other features for the Apple Watch Ultra. So looking there, you've got free diving features. I mean, really, you can utilize this thing for a lot of stuff. So diving being one of them for different kinds of athletic events that you want to be a part of. You've got ways to monitor your gait when you're walking. It can give you health updates. This really does incorporate a tremendous amount of features into it. And that's been one of their goals for quite a while with Apple, is creating a device that can really handle everything. You can actually, as far as the health side of things, you know, you've got all your regular monitors that you can get. You can incorporate Siri into it, ask, how did I sleep? Really, there's so many features on this that it could probably take quite a while to actually even utilize all of them. This one does start at $799, so it's going to be a much more expensive watch. You're going to want to take advantage of some of these different things that it can do, I would think, if you're going to be picking that up. But certainly, it's a pretty impressive features that they had come out there. So, and again, you can get advanced running metrics. You can get track detection, custom workouts. It incorporates into all of the other things that Apple has as well, which is a really big feature of Apple. It's everything incorporating into one. So the Apple Ultra Watch 2 right there. And one of the other big things that they did highlight for this event is creating things more sustainably. And this is a feature that you see with a lot of different tech companies now too. They want to be sustainable, use sustainable products in it, use sustainable parts and recycle. So certainly that was a very big part of the presentation. They've got a lot of information out there about that. But that's really what I wanted to get you, is just some of the biggest features, some of the biggest things that people will be looking at. And quite honestly, a lot of times it ends up being the color lineup. That's what people decide on, is right there. So again, if you're an iPhone fan, this is a big day to take a look at all this stuff. I believe you can start pre-ordering on the 15th, and they're going to be in stores on the 22nd. So if that's something that you're looking for, that's some more information. And obviously, you can go to Apple's website and find out a lot of these details. But that'll give you some of the highlights here, some of the basic stuff to know about the new iPhone. Again, the big thing, USB-C. I think that's going to be a big changer for a big change for a lot of people, but it's not that big of a deal. So USB-C, the Lightning cable, it's going away. All right, so there we go. Wanted to get that to you. This is Fox 12 Now. Again, I'm Greg Nibbler. So coming up here at 1:30 p.m., depending on when you're watching, at 1:30 p.m. live, I will be talking to Sequoia Mental Health Services about some of the things that they do for the community in Washington County and some of the services they provide for a lot of different people. So that's going to be happening. Then at 2 p.m., I'm going to be talking about the MGM Resort cyber attack that happened. This was yesterday, well, actually over the last couple of days. This has been going on where their resorts, big cyber attack happened. Some people were even getting locked out of their hotel rooms. They had to shut down some things, some casinos. And we're going to be discussing that with a cybersecurity expert from Check Point about what happened there, how that happened, and then also how you can make sure and keep yourself a little bit safer when you're out there traveling, because there's always going to be somebody out there trying to get your data. So these are going to be some tips and tricks on what you can do to keep a little bit safer. So that's all coming up at 2 p.m. So we're going to sign off just for right now. We're going to come back here in just a few minutes. Again, we'll be talking to Sequoia Mental Health Services. So join us there at 1:30 p.m. Whatever platform you're on, I will be there. I'll talk to you in just a few minutes. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.